Where the hell did you get that?
Well, thanks everybody for joining us. This is Up and Down's virtual happy hour. We are, let me see if I can narrow it down to the speaker. Make sure I can't get it to speaker view. Oh well, we'll just have everybody on.
That's all right, yeah.
Yeah, Up and Down's virtual happy hour. We are joined by Melinda Torres from Founders Brewing Company out of what city?
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids. Super
Yep.
awesome. So we are going to get into some questions here in a sec. Let me see if I can get to our speakers view for recording purposes. It's not going to do it. Bummer. Sorry.
It says it's recording.
Yeah, it's recording, but I want to get to just Melinda and I on the screen here for later. Oh well, we'll try it. Melinda, say something. Let me see if you pop up here.
Well, I'm so stoked that you asked me because, you know, you guys are one of my favorite nonprofits.
You love it.
And so I like to do whatever I can to support you guys from over here because I had such a great time with Up and Down.
Yeah, we loved having you around. We miss you for sure. And speaking of support for Up and Down, there's different ways that you guys can support us through this time. You can always jump on our website and donate. We have an awesome coloring book, actually by Delina, one of our staff members at Up and Down. She's designed some custom pages that you can download and support us with. We just launched a t-shirt campaign, 2 different designs, one with the Yeti, one with our tagline, Unleash Your Adventure. So you can jump on our Facebook page or website and check those out to support us through this time. With no programs equals no income. So we are kind of hurting right now. And until we can get back into the public, we're just kind of on cruise control with everything. So trying to do more things online, maybe a virtual 5K here and there, but trying to keep you guys motivated through the interwebs. So, yeah. All right, we're gonna get into the interview so I don't get cut off here with the 40 minutes. So Melinda, woo, represent, I love it. Yes, it's awesome. Give us a quick history of Founders and then also what your role at Founders is.
Right on. So I just had my 3-year anniversary at Founders. Pretty much since I left Colorado, I came back here and started working within the next year. Let's see. Founders goes back to 1997, so we're almost 22 years old this November. It was just a couple of guys, Mike Stevens and Dave Embers, and funny enough, they met at a Christian liberal arts school, Hope College, which is a dry county, it's a dry campus, and somehow these two managed to still brew some beer. And that's kind of where that all, started. They went into the working world and they decided, this just kind of sucks to work for someone else, and they got back in touch and they were like, let's just do what we used to do, hang out with our friends, make beer for everyone, and, just have a good time. And they both were like, yeah, let's do it. And so they pretty much threw all caution to the wind. They were going from a home brewing situation to this, at least they bought a 30 barrel to start. And they didn't really transition very well. For the first few years, their beer really sucked. People would come in, they'd try it, they wouldn't come back. And they were just like, and about 2005, they hit their stride. They were still in this tiny little historical building about 2 miles north of where we're at right now. And they kind of were just like, at this point, they weren't paying their bills. They hadn't been paying their bills because they thought when the advertisement said, start your business here, tax at least free, they kind of took that a little too literal. So needless to say, they were about to be closed on. The bank showed up, the landlord, everybody, and these guys were like, well, screw it. We're going to do, exactly what we want this time and see what turns out. And they ended up making this beer called Dirty Bastard, which is a Scotch style ale that pretty much saved this company. And then from there, beer after beer just came out exploding. Kentucky Breakfast Stout, that's now called KBS, that came out in that time. And before you know it, these guys, here we are. 22 years later, they started just the two of them, and we're now well over 600 people.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
we just opened a second tap room in Detroit in 2017.
you guys are in all 50 states, is that right?
All 50 states and over 30 countries at this point.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
congrats.
it is just really amazing. I was one of those people, I turned 21 when Founders opened, so I remember coming, and I always wondered, like, why don't I have any good stories about Founders? Well, because now that I hear the real stories, the beer sucked, so I never, I didn't go back.
Oh my gosh.
But it's really cool.
Yeah, and in your time at Founders, you told me when we've chatted before that you have quite a few roles there. What are some of those roles that you have?
So I started as a server there. I also became part of the senior serving staff, which is kind of just like a, floor supervisor, I guess, for like your crew. And then I got hired onto the entertainment department. So I get to host, pretty much throw parties for bands that play at Founders. It's great. And I don't have to put, we have the beer, we give them food. It's just a great place to entertain people. And then I work in the education department, and that's kind of the same thing. I get to throw parties there for 12 people at a time, and, just tell them the story and tour them around the facility. It's pretty sweet. So a little bit of everything, really.
Yeah, then that's great. That's a great way to learn the business, is doing a little bit of everything, because then you get so much
Right.
experience. But with all those activities that you were doing, it has to be hard during this time to not have the tours and not have the bands, and you can still sell your beer. I'm sure that Colorado, that was one of the first things they're like, no, breweries and liquor stores are still open. Okay.
Essential.
So it's essential, and weed shops, but we're not going to get into that. So
here too now, Randy.
Okay, it's everywhere. So what are you guys doing then to kind of support your staff and support Founders still during this time?
So I think from my shoes, that's pretty much where I can speak from. They've been doing a great job trying to support us through all this. They've kept us on a payroll. It's all different just depending on what you did there and based on hours. But they're also still allowing us to buy beer at the employee discount once in a while, But as far as people that are still working because they're considered essential, they've really gone above and beyond to make sure that those guys are safe. I'm not saying guys because it's all guys. We're lucky. We have chicks. We've got everyone back there making beer and packaging beer. But they've split them into many shifts where there's just a couple of people and they're doing 12 hours, 2 days a week, and then they're done. So just to keep down their exposure, just to that group of people that's working on those shifts. But yeah, they really are, trying to make sure that we're all doing well, helping us along the process of, of course, everyone's applying for unemployment. So, giving us any information that they can to keep us, in the loop of what happens next.
Totally. And are you guys kind of similar to Colorado where you have the takeout option, the delivery? Are you guys delivering? I know that's kind of helped, like Bristol Brewing, they do that here, but what about for you guys?
Well, we tried curbside pickup for a minute, but I think ultimately they decided to just leave it to the sales folks and the people that are out there distributing and, selling our beer. And they just were keeping in mind mostly the safety of the employees, So it wasn't really worth it to have curbside pickup when, at this point you can get beer delivered here from some of the local groceries and things like that. So yeah, just leaving it to the local groceries, the local retailers that already have our beer,
Yeah.
We're having a hard time keeping those orders filled. I mean, it's been really busy, they said.
Yeah. Really good. Speaking of beer, you guys have some new releases that just came out. We're hoping, I think we did some research. They are in Colorado right now, a couple of places. But so I'm drinking the Breakfast Stout.
Mm-hmm. That is a staple beer.
It's a staple
for Founders.
beer. We have a guest surprise.
Hey, Steve!
Get back to the question.
Wait,
I just
well,
wanna say
Dana's
hi.
in here too. There's Dana.
Dana.
Yay! Right on!
Brett's here.
Cheers.
Cheers!
Hey.
Cheers. Wait, here, I don't know how to do it.
Clink. So,
Nice.
all right, get out of here. We only have like 20 minutes left. All right.
Oh shoot, get out of here, Steve.
If you guys don't know, that's Steve. That's my husband. He's the founder of Up and Downa. So pretty special guy in these parts. We call him the Yeti because we never see him. And obviously, you just see him for 2 seconds and then he's gone. Okay, so the releases that are coming out. Go.
Okay, so they're sorry, employees get first dibs. But it is starting to be distributed. You should see it around the country in the next week to 2. But we are doing Green Zebra. The Founders Pilsner just came out. We have a Masa Agave, yeah, nice, Adam. Masa Agave grapefruit variety, which is going to be like it's going to pay homage to a fantastic drink, Paloma, if you know that, right? It's an Imperial Lime Goza that we turned around and aged in tequila barrels. And then after they added all this fresh grapefruit juice, right? So with that little bit of saltiness of the Goza and then the grapefruit and then the flavor of that tequila, holy shit.
That's making my mouth water.
Oh, it's so good, Randy. Wait, I hope it gets to you. If not, I'll find a way to get you some. But pour it over ice with another tequila floater. Boom. I'm telling you. It's gonna be good.
So good. I mean, right now it's snowing in Colorado, so that doesn't sound like a refreshing summer, but I can picture it in my mind, maybe when I'm in Florida.
Right. There you go. Hopefully that's where we're sending it for sure.
That's awesome.
And then the Unraveled I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah, Unraveled.
It's so good. It's just,
what is
it's
that?
a delicious, clear pouring, juicy IPA.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm not really a beer aficionado.
It's really.
But so is that a session IPA?
Well, that's about 6.6%. So, I mean, probably not session.
Depends.
You might have one less.
That's too much for me still.
I mean, what do you consider session? For us at Founders, we have a lot of high octane beer, so like 6% could be considered session.
Yeah, I think it depends on the person, totally.
Right.
Because like this is how far I've gotten through the breakfast part, and I'm taking it real slow with this 8%, man.
They don't call it breakfast now for nothing.
Right? Okay, so then what can we do as a beer community to help you guys, either near, far? Do you guys sell swag online? Do we just, can we jump on your website and find where to buy Founders beer? What's the best way for us to support you?
You know, you can go online. At this point, I meant to check today. I'll find out and let you know. But we do have an online company store, you know, all kinds of crazy swag there that you would find.
Cool.
But, you know, just right now, obviously, we're trying to go all virtual. That's just kind of the direction that everyone's exploring. So on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, we're at foundersbrewing.com or Founders Brewing, you know, you'll find us everywhere.
Okay. And we talked about some of that stuff earlier too, is that you guys are having maybe some open mics on Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
You're featuring some local artists, you're doing concerts. Can you tell us more about those efforts?
Yeah, so, you know, we've kind of turned it around, even as far as billboards in the city, like not so much focusing on how can we get people to come help us out, but how can we get, you know, just being more grateful and thankful to everyone that's helping people out. Our billboards have totally switched out. I saw one today and it caught me off guard, you know, like a pint up or something, cheers to the people that are pretty much carrying us on their back right now, you know. So in that spirit, we're hosting local artists, whether, you know, we have Bramblewood Works that's been on there. It's a really cool wood earring maker.
Cool.
We've had some other, Woosaw's been on there with Prince that, you know, she's a local, what do you call? She carves wood, lino prints, I guess, maybe. But so they've been doing that. Also, they're trying to do open mic on Tuesday nights via Instagram and Facebook. And then Adam and he's one of my co-workers in the entertainment department. They asked us to pick our favorite top 10 shows, archive shows at Founders. We are lucky and we get to live stream and record most all of the shows. So he got to pick his top 10. I got to pick my top 10. And so they're going to be playing them every Thursdays and Saturday nights, these shows that we picked. So it'll be like 10 weeks worth of our favorite shows. So, you know, on a Thursday night, Sunday night, or Thursday night, Saturday night, stop in and check out some music. I won't lie, we're pretty lucky. We get some damn good music at Founders.
That's really cool. And that's on your Facebook page?
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, they're also making community connections, you know, to help the restaurant industry as a whole. But yeah, mostly, yeah, go buy our beer, but mostly really take care of your local people, those small breweries that may be struggling a little bit more than us, you know, big people. We're always encouraging to keep each other afloat. What's the point? If, you know, if the littlest guy is succeeding, we're all succeeding. So it's just best, you know, for everyone to support each other. But yeah, buy Founders too. It's good. And there's always something new coming out.
I love it. And I know locally here in Colorado Springs, there's 2 places that I know of that are near and dear to me. Just one place close to us near our home in Bonnieville or North Patty Jewett. It's, why can't I think of their name? Lots of Liquor. And then
Lots of liquor.
downtown Fine Wine and Spirits, Gregor.
Yeah, he's great.
Downtown Colorado Springs, you probably know him. So those are 2 places nearby. We did have a question in the chat. Do you know off the top of your head, Melinda, where we can find Founders beer in New Mexico?
Oh gosh, I don't know offhand, but if you go on foundersbrewing.com, you will be able to find, I think you just click in your zip code and it will tell you within however many miles you feel like driving, where you can find it.
Sweet. So easy
Yep.
enough. And we did that research today also on some of that new beer. And you were able to track that down, right? Like what beer?
Yeah, it must be where it will be going. Like those people must have accounts. They must carry Founders beer, so that's where they're expecting it to end up. But yeah, that's what I learned today, that stuff won't be going out, some of it for the next week and then some for 2 weeks into the beginning of May.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Melinda, do you have anything else to add? I don't know what our time limit is right now, but if you have any comments to add or anything else, and then if not, we'll open it up to everybody. If they have questions, you can either type a question in the chat or you can unmute yourself and just jump in there and ask a question.
No, I'm good. That's a cute little fleece that you have on though.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, now it's happy hour time, so we can just chat about whatever.
Yeah, now let's just burn up the time that we have left in this room.
Yeah, which is 10 minutes, by the way. So
10 minutes. Oh, right on.
10 minutes.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey.
Yay. What are you drinking? Red's Eye. See,
Oh, yeah.
Randy, this
Red's
is
Eye.
a tap room favorite. You can only get this in Michigan right now.
Okay, let's see.
Jackie, good to hear ya.
Yeah. Good
Oh,
to hear you guys.
nice.
Oh, yeah. Red's Rye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like a 90-day shelf life. So because of that, we can't really distribute that outside of Michigan for quality control reasons. But it's so good when it's fresh.
Oh, it is good.
One of the main reasons to travel up there then to the brewery.
Absolutely.
And I have shabumis that you already know how to use. So
Yeah.
come on.
We got paddle boards, we got beer. I mean,
I've got bikes. I just got a free bike from my friend Steph the other day. I mean, there are bikes here. What more do you want?
you got a whole up and down a setup in your backyard. That's awesome.
Practically.
Anyone
Right on.
else? What else are other people drinking? Brett, you had a upslope something or other?
Yep, I've got my last upslope here in Arkansas.
Oh,
Nice.
So sad.
I know, I'm gonna have to go back up there when it's all over. I try to go.
Well,
up
you're gonna have to see if you can find some Founders in Arkansas. I'm sure it's there
Yeah,
somewhere.
I
Oh,
can.
right on.
My local liquor store carries it.
Oh,
The-
right on.
Yeah, the KBS and the Breakfast Stout are 2 of my favorites for camping.
Right
Nice.
on. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Tell them we said thanks.
Will do. They're cool people.
Right on.
Dana, what you got? You got a drink over there in Bend, Oregon?
Yep, I've got Good Life Brewing, hazy pale ale.
Oh,
Good Life has a couple of really good beers that I like here, as well as Crux Fermentation and a few others. But Bend, Oregon is a craft brew mecca.
yeah.
we have almost as many breweries here in Bend as Colorado Springs, and we have a quarter of the population.
Oh,
Wow.
Damn. That's funny.
So yeah, if I look out my back door, that's the backside of 10 Barrel Brewing. They're not technically.
Oh, right on.
It's
I
not
love 10
technically a
Barrel.
craft beer anymore, but
Yeah, they're not,
I'm
but
looking
that's
at
all
the
right.
warehouse facility right now.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Man, their crush was delicious.
Yep. Yep.
That's awesome. I was gonna ask you, Randy, are you guys, oh, well, Bunny used to do it, but you guys still do beer reviews? Remember you used to do those on your website?
Yeah, we tried. We try to keep up with them, but we're just so busy focusing on programs that we don't have the time and
Right.
people to do it right now. But that's definitely one of those things we can do right now, knock the cobwebs off the website and focus on beer and gear reviews as well. Just
Yeah,
that
right.
piece. Yeah. So we really want to focus on that until we can get back into the public. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Always looking for beer reviewers, people.
There we go. I mean, maybe you just want to have guest beer reviewers every review.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
That'd be fun.
we can do the beer. We can send you a pint cup. I don't know if you can see my Yeti, but we can send you a pint cup and some
I've got
swag,
mine.
some koozies.
Nice.
Yeah. Email us for sure. Anyway,
Yeah, hopefully something turns out like that here. It would be so awesome to have programs like that.
yeah, Up and Down, it does want to go nationwide, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next staff can take it to that level when I'm gone.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. I know they have a Florida rep now, so there's that.
There you go.
Yeah. All
Right
right.
on.
Well, if there's no more questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, right on.
Melinda, thanks so much for joining us all the way from Michigan. We really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Linda.
Sharing what
Good to
found
see you guys.
and taking care of you guys as well as those frontline workers that are kicking ass for us.
Yeah.
So thanks for what you guys are doing. Keep on keeping on, and cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank
See
you
you
so much.
later.
Good to see you. Good to see you
Right
all.
on.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Stay healthy.
You too.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.